I can't, this, God, I can't stand doing this. You can tell I was placed somewhere sooner than people think. I can't stand doing this, and I can't stand doing fucking separate signs, but some people need to know some specifics about things. You know what I'm comfortable doing. I'm gonna start with Cancer. And either you are one and this is for you, or this is not for any of you, or you're dealing with one, or you're one dealing with one. Or you are a fucking Cancer in your environment. Okay. Let's see. Let's talk about, or you have it, right? There we go. Let's talk about what's up with you. Spiritual strength. Okay. This woman's actually cute. How do I raise the roof? Right? This is someone who could be breaking out of some kind of shell with authority. Spiritual strength and authority. How do I take control over my life from the inside out? Please tell me. Okay, this is somebody that doesn't really get down with spiritual shit, but I have a feeling I'm being forced to believe in something. Maybe it's something within me. Okay. You're absolutely correct here. You're being told to take more authority in your own life. How do I do this? Right. Okay, we'll talk about it. Royal Kingdom. You need to stop arguing. Look at this. This 5 of Wands with 4 swords. Daisy, tell me. Yep, stop fighting. And this could just be the fighting what? Let's see this. Fighting some type of authority with the spiritual authority. Could be creator. It could be you're fighting against something bigger. It could be that there's a spiritual court type system, which would be karma, and what you do is come back, and it's fighting that system, the universal court system. Yeah, look, and then this is the Hierophant. Either you're dealing with a Taurus that you need to stop fighting with, or you need to stop arguing. There's something here about a higher authority, somebody that's higher ranked. Now, this could be work, where someone who just does scheduling wants to have the same type of power as the one who manages everything. No. This is, what would this be? Somebody who works on Fry's side, wanting to jump in now where there's a position with more power, and I'm just not sure. I have everything set up here. First, I said no, right? And this is defying authority. Always been a defier of authority because you lack authority in your own life, which would be diligence, which is discipline. Authority in your own life is, I can cut this out if I want. I can take this hit. I can accept that this is happening. This is even having control over your mind and thoughts. There's something here of a time of loss. This is maybe you're going to have to admit that God abandoned you, or God abandons people, or that there is no God with the Hierophant and the 5 of Pentacles. Daisy, how am I doing here? Maybe this belief in something and just is, with this King of Swords, there is no God. There's no Jesus. There's no God. And this could be somebody who talks about it, which you are deficient of God, is what someone's saying. This is a Lacey. I think they were a patient somewhere. They said you are the most deficient of godly type of behavior that anybody has ever seen. It's weird to hear you talk about God. You know how there are those people where you walk up to somebody and they have Baphomet horns that they grew out of their head, or they had placed in their head, and fangs, and they're like, in Jesus' name. That's how weird it sounds from people like this. Like, we can tell that you're not a godly person and that you just kind of use this to move through life. All right, and now what else is going on there? Because I don't want to bash Cancers, or you're dealing with one. That you could be a Taurus dealing with one, or they're dealing with you like this, or Pisces. Now, God damn it. Maybe, God damn it, yes. Maybe that term means something a little more descriptive. Maybe people who have this belief in this particular thing that seems to be there's a huge absence of presence. Maybe this God, people are damned, and this could be that the damned are the ones that are in hell waiting for this God now because they believed to remove them and they remain damned. No, this is just how it works, okay? because what happens with this type of belief is not just, oh, so they're in hell now because they believe. No, they're in hell now because they believe, but they judged everybody but themselves. And that was one of your God's biggest problems, wasn't it? That's pride and ego. I'm going to keep saying this until it sticks. There's so much hypocrisy in this belief in this motherfucker. I mean, the hypocrisy is unbelievable. Just like that, people will shun because I say fucker, but that word actually means spiritual growth. You see what I'm saying? We know it as something derogatory. That's what we were programmed to believe. That's what it says in places. But it actually means to grow spiritually. Say it in your mind and feel your environment lift up. Now say Jesus. You can't deny this shit. This is how you calculate words and meanings and which ones you need to get rid of. When I play video games, I always name a character after you. I'm not very good though. You die a lot. So somebody, this is a spiritual death. This is, your belief has to come to an end. You need to stop. Your belief is making you lazy. This is what I said, man. This belief that somebody's just going to come through and fix everything and things are going to be like that. People became very, very lackadaisical when it comes to inner work. Working on yourself. I don't have to work on myself. All I have to do is believe. You know, and then hatacha. It's more ridiculous than something else because there is somebody here who's like, oh, you know, they do the spiritual shit, or you could even do what I do, or into some kind of palm reading, or you're into something different, right? And you could be judged. But you have this thing here with the King of Swords, with this High Priestess, which is, for me, would be shaman, mahata, yep, things like that, where I know a lot of shit. Spiritually, I'm super strong inside, all right? This is a god. Somebody believes in gods and goddesses, and another person believes in one thing, and then some could believe in both. That there's a creator who created gods and goddesses. It's different types of beliefs, but whatever one that you choose, until you see clearly what it really is, make sure that this belief, it reflects on you. It does. You are really talented when it comes to napping. That's what card flew out. So they could just be somebody that they pick fights and then they go to sleep, or this could be spiritual strength. I get up and the authority is I walk around this office, around this home, delegating things. I start arguments, and then this is a throw the rock and hide their hand type of person. So I cause problems and then I nap. That's what that would be to me. Somebody could have said something. I do feel that there's someone here who's sick. I mean, they're sick. Now, some people don't go to the doctors because we're not plugged in like that. We know that it will run its course, or we know that something else is at play here. You could be sick and have just kind of been a little off lately, and somebody could have said that you're lazy or something like that, and this is someone who naps a lot, all right? There's someone who naps about 10 times a day. Figure that out. Yeah. What else is here? It's hard to delegate authority when you break your own rules. This is also, I'm committed to having a mindset of lack, right? When I wake up, spiritual strength, that's the first thing that I think when I wake up, is everything that I do today comes from how I feel and about my own life. So when you can clear all this shit, when you wake up, take authority over your mind is what they're saying. You may have to listen, you may have to clear your mind, or you may have to ask some other beings to help clear your mind, so that your commitment, or this consistency thing, we can call it consistency, is feeling abandoned, feeling like everything's happening to you, feeling like I don't know why I'm losing like this, and it has everything to do with just waiting on something to happen. With the waves in the reverse, things are going backwards because of this. One, because this person doesn't exist, being doesn't exist, and like that's just going to fix everything. So now there could have been waves of things happening just because usually you'll have everything that you need in a situation, but when you get to the point where you become too erratic or you keep going against some type of forward motion, shit in your life, you're telling something that you don't mind being stuck and that you don't mind going backwards. So if you don't want to better yourself and your situation seems to be stuck or even kind of dissipating in some way, and you don't do anything to change it, that is you saying now, I love this. I'm comfortable with this. And even comfortable with arguing. So what'll happen is if they don't have a lot of people in their life, they'll wind up arguing if they do with everybody else because this shit keeps coming back. They'll have little arguments and these arguments could just be, oh, you don't agree with me? Now we're arguing. And if they don't have a lot of people in their life, they argue with themselves. They have to argue something with somebody. So just avoid these people at all costs. You have to. Unless you're in the mood to argue too, and I hope that you're a more clever arguer than this person is. These waves now of good that were coming in, something has to come to an end and it's going to be rough for a little bit. You need to see what somebody else dealt with. This could be being homeless or being hungry or being nervous, that could be a possibility of worrying about your sense of security being threatened at the last minute. Something. Emotions. Yep, waves of emotions. Wanting people to conform to your mood, how you wake up. I wake up, spiritual strength. I don't take authority over my own head is what I said. And now when I get up, let's just say this. Let's say I wake up feeling pain. Congratulations, you're the one that has that. We found you. And then you'll have somebody else who wakes up in greater pain but just doesn't complain about it because they have authority over they're spiritually strong, which means no one's going to care. I can bitch and complain about it, but then it makes me feel like I'm kind of making excuses for things, you know? This can harm you in some ways when you're like this because people don't have empathy for you because you never talk about being in pain. You see what I mean? Yeah, I'm one of those people where I rarely talk about it, but I feel a tremendous amount of discomfort, or I did up until recently. That was hard to explain to people, and I tried. But when someone just looks at you like I'm the only one who has pain or is sick or has something going on, you just walk away because you see that that's just a battle I will not choose. I know that I feel pain. I know that this kind of pain is something that nobody could deal with the way that I do, but how do you make this work in situations where it may be hard for you to work because of this pain, but you're not saying anything? You know, you don't become the person that complains every fucking day. Nobody cares. But at some point, maybe you need to say how you truly feel so that somebody doesn't think that you're just kind of sitting around. You know what I mean? So on both sides, I get that. Emotions. I get so emotional, baby. And then emotional rescue. They need someone to rescue them from many things, many times throughout the day. And it could just be complaining about a situation with someone else who has something going on. Like, please don't call me and tell me what you're going through. I have my own things going on. This is how they covertly turn people against each other, and then they'll throw little fabrications in truths. So it's, well, what's going on? Well, they woke up and they slammed the door constantly, and this isn't true. You could be the most, people think you're dead when you get up, is what I hear. They think you're dead. A dead man, woman walking. The more you try to be quiet or adhere, the more noise that you make. And this isn't because you're clumsy. It's because there are too many rules that are just unnecessary. People make noise. People turn on water. People shut doors. This feels like a quiet, insane asylum in the making. Yeah. This is emotions and then loyal. Staying loyal to your emotions. Oh, waves of emotion. All right, you can maybe tell that something is slowing down a little bit. Somebody could be doing this. Like, all right, what am I going to do? Let me avoid this shit. You know those people where you walk past them and you're like, just please don't say it. You know what I mean? I know I left the toilet seat up. I'm going to put it down. There's no reason to say it. Right? Do you have this kind of thing with someone where, all right, I just got up. I opened the door. I'm taking a piss. My bed is not made yet. I don't even know if I'm up all the way. And then you'll have somebody go, you're making your bed, right? Did you really have to say this shit to me? Just because I'm back home doesn't mean that I'm less responsible than you. There are reasons why I'm here, yes, but they're not all my fault. It's not, I'm not guilty of things. Not, you know what I mean? And you may be guilty of some things if you're there, but I mean, God damn it. It's just you wake up to a damn near an axe in your skull every morning, sir. There's this will happen until there's some type of strong togetherness, and then things will be moved on. It will move on. There has to be something where you're going to have to learn to work together because of things that are coming. There are going to be people who never met each other who are going to rely on each other for the shit that's going to be happening. This is just the beginning of huge loss for many people. Don't take it as you're being punished. Take it as this is that shake up. What is that thing with the boggle, right? All the letters have to fall into spaces eventually. So whatever has to happen for that, I hope this help.